Okay, let's try this question on the screen. I want everybody to remember, guys, that whenever we see a minus in between our exponents, we always want to split and factorize. That's our step. Split and factorize. So please make sure that we are trying this question, because these are the types of questions they're definitely going to put in your exam. They are a heavy part of your grade 10 and grade 11 syllabus. So please give it a try. Okay, if you don't know what split and factorize means, if you're like, hi ma'am, you're speaking French, just wait a few minutes and I'll be able to explain the question to you. Okay, and I'm just going to also put in a disclaimer here. If ma'am sounds like she's underwater, it's because she's got the worst flu, guys. When I tell you that this flu, yes, Stephen, when I say this flu has me in a chokehold, guys. Like I was teaching today in class and I just stopped mid-sentence to blow my nose. It's yeah. So the same thing might happen here. I might be halfway through a sentence, stop my sentence and blow my nose, and then I will continue. Hello, Abigail. Isabel says she starts exams tomorrow, like just fingers crossed. I don't want to say good luck because I feel like you're prepared and you're going to kill it anyway, but I'm going to send good vibes your way anyway. All right. And Unati is writing IT. Unati, you got this. Pavani starts next week. Sure, and Amkhalang starts on Friday. No, guys, look. When I say that I've never seen anybody as dedicated as you guys, I wish my kids were as dedicated as you guys, because they only remember 2 days before the exam. They're like, oh yeah, I'm writing an exam. I'm writing an exam. And then they're like, ma'am, help me. And then when you say, with what? They're like, everything. You know, I don't like those people who come to me and they're like, everything. No, I can't help you with everything. Be specific. So I'm very glad that you guys, whoa, Jessica, how did it go? Sure. Yeah, but I love that you guys have been with us since the beginning of the year, which shows that you've been preparing for this since the beginning of the year. And that is dedication. I love it. All right, let's have a look at this question that we have over here. All right, I'm going to split and then I'm going to factorize. So I know that if I split the top, I'm going to get 5 to the power of 2x minus 5 to the power of 2x times 5 to the power of 2 over, now 25 can be rewritten as 5 to the power of 2. And then I'm going to multiply that by x plus 1. So I'm going to distribute. So on the bottom, I actually have 5 to the power of 2x plus 2. So I'm going to split 5 to the power of 2x plus 2 at the bottom. I'm going to end up with 5 to the power of 2x times 5 to the power of 2 minus 5 to the power of 2x. Right, that was the split part. Now we have to do the factorize part. Tell me, guys, what is the highest common factor in my numerator? What is the highest common factor on the top part over here? What are we going to take out? Not just 5, Jessica. Correct, Nkandla. Good. 5 to the power of 2x. Good. I see where you're going with that 6 because that's where the power button is. But yes, good. We're going to take 5 to the power of 2x out. And over here, we're going to have 1 minus 5 to the power of 2, close brackets, over. And at the bottom, I'm also going to take out a 5 to the power 2x. So I'm going to get 5 to the power of 2x, open brackets, and then I'm going to have 5 to the power of 2 minus 1 left. Now, I know that 5 to the power of 2x and 5 to the power of 2x are going to cancel. Now, I only have numbers left. What am I going to do with those numbers, peeps? What do I do when I have no more x's in my exponents? What do I do with the numbers that I have? Simplify how? Yes, Nkanka, correct. Don't even think twice about it. Don't think 3 times about it. Pick up a calculator, punch those numbers into a calculator, give us an answer. All right, what is the answer we get there? Should have something like 24 over 24. So I'm thinking negative 24 over 24. It should give us -1. Beautiful, Boucher. Well done. The final answer would be -1. All right. Here's the question. It says, a straight line graph is defined by 4x plus 2y minus 8. Then it says, write down the equation in standard form and determine the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Give me a thumbs up if you're going to be able to do these 3 questions all by yourself. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if we're going to be okay to do these questions. Okay, I'm getting quite a few thumbs down, and that's perfectly fine. Those of you who put a thumbs up, I want you to go ahead and do the question. The rest of us, we're going to do the question together. Somebody's like, yeah, no. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it together, everyone. All right, so we know that a straight line graph, the equation on a straight line graph always comes as y is equal to mx plus c. But if we look at this equation we've been given over here, or the straight line graph, they've given us 4x plus 2y equals -8. That is not in the way that we are used to doing it. So if anybody wants to put their hand up and walk me through what it is we would have to do to get it looking in the way that we want. Does anybody want to help? Anybody want to help me? How are we going to move this thing back and forth and around and around? Any takers? Jessica. Ah, yes. Hi, Jessica. Hello.
Hi, ma'am. I'm going to try my...
Yes.
Can ma'am hear me? Hello, ma'am. I'm going to try, because this is not my best thing, but I'm going to try today.
No, that's all I want, my sweetie. Thank
Okay,
you so much. All right. Yes. What's the first thing we're going to do?
So for the eye, we need to put everything in place.
Good.
For
So
the
what are we
eye
going
is
to do?
So we're gonna say I is your -8. Then we're gonna say M is your 2. We're gonna say for them it's going to be -8.
Okay.
Antwerp.
Okay. I'm
struggling with English. I'm not good in English.
That's okay, my sweetie. All right. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna walk you through it slowly so that we're there together. Okay. Right. I know that in my equation, this is A in Afrikaans. Yes, it's A. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you guys call it A? Yes. Good. Gonna remember. Okay. So
yes,
we want A all on its own. So we're gonna take this 4x. We don't want it on this side with 2y. So where must I take my 4x?
You need to take it to the other side.
Correct. Good. We're going to take it to the other side. So I'm going to end up with 2y equals. Now, remember, I want m and x first. So if I take 4x over, what is it going to become? Not 4. It's going to on this side.
It's going to become -4x.
Good. So we're going to have -4x, and then don't forget the -8. Right. Good. That's our first step. But remember, Jessica, I only want y or a by itself. What must I do to this 2 over here?
You need to put it on a bracket with, not in a bracket, you need to put the 2 under at the other side too. You need to
correct. Yes. So
divide.
Good. So I need to divide. 2 times y, so we're going to divide. Good, good. If you're stuck with the English words, check the chat. The people in the chat, they always got you. Okay. So we divide by 2. And if I divide by 2 over here, what must I do on this side?
You need to divide it by 2 at the other side too.
Exactly. So I'm going to divide this one by 2 and also this one by 2. So the 2's will cancel. So we will then get y is equal to, what am I going to get over here?
-2.
x, good. And then
minus 4.
beautifully done. Amazing stuff. That's exactly what I was looking for, my sweetie. See, it wasn't that difficult. I know the Afrikaans is like tough, but you still got it. Okay, maths is maths in every language. Trust me, my sweetie, and you're doing amazing. Well done. Very nicely
Thank you, ma'am.
done. Sure. Guys, Jessica is killing it. In a world full of people who don't like maths, be a Jessica. In a world full of people, be a Jessica, everyone. I love it. Teacher Nels, can you please help DeAndre quickly?
Yeah.
Because she could hear and speak a second ago, but now all of a sudden she can't. So if you could just help her out. Oh, okay, let's see. It's giving, guys, yes. All right, now let's talk about finding the x-intercept. We know that whenever we find the x-intercept, something needs to happen to our y. What does our y need to equal to? What do we need to make our y equal to? Correct. Beautiful, Tamia. That's it. Oratilo and Kamogelo. Yes, that's it. Our y must equal 0. Somebody said, la y equals 0, like in a French accent. I love it. Good. So we're going to go to this beautiful equation that Jessica has given us. And we are going to make, oh, was it let? I thought you were being French, Isaiah. Now I feel weird. We're going to make y 0. So we're going to replace y with 0. And we're going to go 0 equals negative 2x minus 4. What is my next step, guys? What are we actually solving for here? What are we solving for? Beautiful. We're solving for x. So we need to isolate x. So what I'm going to do is, instead of taking the negative 2 and the negative 4 over, I'm going to take the negative 2 over. I'm going to take negative 2x to that side, and I'm going to make it positive 2x. Okay, then I'm going to say positive 2x is equal to minus 4. What's my next step? Yes, Patience.
Divide by 2.
Good. What are we dividing
by?
By 2. Good. 2 on both sides. So what's my final answer going to be, Patience? X is equal to?
Negative 2.
Beautiful. Negative 2. Amazing. Patience, can I ask you to stay with me and answer the next question?
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Thank you. All right. Now it says determine the y-intercept. And we know when we have to look for the y-intercept, x must equal what?
0.
Beautiful. Good. So let's go back to our original formula, and we're going to replace x with 0. So we're going to say y is equal to, finish up for me, Patience.
Is equal to negative. Equals to 0 minus 4.
Good. 0 minus 4, because negative 2 times 0 is just going to give us 0. Good. 0 minus 4. So that means that y is equal to what?
Y is equal to 4. Let me
Not
check.
4.
Y is equal to negative 4.
Negative 4. Beautifully done, my sweetie. Thank you so much. 100% correct. Okay, well done, Patience. Yo, guys, you guys are just on fire today. I love it. Well done, Patience. Sinako, what's up? I'm just going to show everybody in the next question. It says, draw the graph showing all intercepts. Hi, Sinako.
Ma'am, hi.
Hi, what's up?
Ma'am, I got lost at question A, ma'am. I don't understand why you turned the equation like that, ma'am.
Okay, so let me ask you a simple question, Sinako. If I say to you, I have 2x plus 1 is equal to 7, and I said solve for x, what would you do?
Ma'am, when I take the plus 1 to the other side, then it be 2x
Good.
equals to 7 minus 1,
Good.
then you write it by 2.
2x is equal to 6. Agreed? And then
Yes, ma'am.
next step.
Then we're going to divide each side by 2.
Good. Divide each side by 2. That means x is equal to 3.
3.
Agreed?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. All right. Now, we're going to go back to the top here while everybody's busy drawing their graph of the straight line, right? Here's the equation they've given us. Sinako, they've given us 4x plus 2y is equal to minus 8. Now, I tell you, Sinako, that I want y to be the subject of the formula. What's the first thing we're going to move?
Pardon me, ma'am.
I want you to remember the same question we just did where we did some steps and then we ended up with therefore x is equal to something, right? Now I want us to
Yes,
get
ma'am.
to the end and I want us to say therefore y is equal to something. So I want everything else gone and I want y left on its own, right? So what am I going to move away from y?
Ma'am, aren't we gonna take the 4x to the other side?
Correct. We're going to take the 4x to the other side. What's going to happen to the 4x? It's going to become
Negative 4x, ma'am.
good. So I'm now going to have 2y is equal to, I'm going to put the negative 4x before the minus 8. Okay, it won't make a difference. I'm going to put negative 4x minus 8. It's still the same thing. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Right. I don't want 2y, Sinako. I want just y. So what must I do?
We're gonna divide each side by 2, ma'am.
Good. So if I divide this side by 2, I must also divide the other side by 2. But I can't just divide negative 4x. I must divide both of them by 2. I'm going to divide this one by 2 and that one by 2. All of them must be divided by 2. Okay. Therefore, what is y going to equal to? Y is going to equal to?
Y is equal to negative 2x minus 4.
Look at you giving us the answer that we want. Look at that. There, it's the exact same answer we have there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you with me? You're very welcome. Good question. If you're stuck, go ahead and put your hand up and ask. All right. Well done, Sinako. Amazing. Good stuff, peeps. Excellent. All right. Have we all managed to draw our graph? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've managed to draw your graph. Anotita, what's up, my dude?
Hi, ma'am. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I haven't heard your voice in a while, so now I'm doing good. What's up?
I'm doing fine. I just wanted to ask if I can do D.
D, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, you can. All right, beautiful. Tell me, what am I drawing? How, where? What do I need to do?
All right.
I'm going to remind you that our x-intercept is equal to -2. Is it -2? No, it's +2. +2, -2?
-2.
Negative. Hey, guys, are we sure about these answers?
Maybe, maybe not. Right? Yeah, we are.
Something's not right, guys.
Are you sure?
I need to double check.
Because if we take that x over there, it's going to turn into a positive x, and then we divide that -4
no.
by
Okay,
2.
no, yes. Okay, sorry.
Right.
In my mind, we get a positive slope, but I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You're right. Okay, tell me what our x is equal to -2, our y x-intercept, and our y-intercept is equal to -4. Good.
-4.
All right. What do we do now?
Well, okay, what I did here is I drew a Cartesian plane like that. Then I put the -2 on the x-axis.
Good. We go to the x-axis at -2 and we put a dot. Good. What's next?
Then for the y, we put a -4 going down there. All the way down.
Good. Down here, -4. Last step.
Then we draw the line. We're from point to point, from that point to the point.
Beautiful. Straight through. Remember, this whole graph is collinear, so it doesn't stop. We still need to make sure it's going in both directions. Excellent. We're missing one last thing. What do we need to do?
We write down our equation for the
Beautiful.
line.
Good. What is our equation?
Our equation was 4x plus 2y minus 8. Am I right?
Not just.
Or is it different?
No. The one that we've now reconfigured. Okay.
Oh, is it
Which is going to be
0?
y is equal to?
Y is equals to, is it -2 minus 4?
Negative 2x minus 4.
Oh, yeah, negative 2x minus 4.
Excellent.
There we go.
Well done, Anutida. I didn't even think this was going to be a hard question for you. You're cheating. You can't answer the easy questions when you know that you're better at the hard questions. So your hand better come up again when you do the harder questions. No. You can't cheat it. I want to see that hand up again when we get to the harder ones. All right.
Okay. I'll come back for the harder ones.
Excellent. Good. I'm expecting it. All right. Thanks, Anutida. Beautiful. I see Isayan saying coordinates. It's not necessary if we've named them on the Cartesian plane, but Isayan, look, I always say, there's always that one teacher who's going to be like, no, I said coordinates. So rather, let's just do it to make sure that, there's nobody who can be like, no marks. So we're going to put this as -2 and 0, and our y-intercept over there as 0 and -4. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're giving them absolutely everything so they don't have a reason to take away a mark from us. All right. Okay, now let's get into the big girl and the big boy stuff. Are we ready? Let's do this. Okay. We are given the term g of x is equal to -2x squared minus 1. Determine the value of g of -1. I'll give you guys some time. Also in this next one, it says, if h of x is equal to x squared minus 5, determine the values of x if h of x is equal to 20. Now, I'm going to ask again, thumbs up if you know what to do, thumbs down if you don't know what to do. And I'm just gonna mute for 2 seconds and blow my nose. Yeah, around like that. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be quite the sight for the YouTube channel of me just gonna be fun. All right, good. Yes. Now, okay, for those of you who know what to do, go ahead, run with it, guys. Go for it. For those of you who don't know what to do, Chifaro, you are 100% correct. We're going to substitute. Now, let's look at A, for those of you who are with me. If anybody would like to help me out with this question, I would love to see your hands. Let's have a conversation. Right. Always, like just my favorite person. Jessica, I'm going to ask Remy to do Remy, come back. I'm gonna ask Remy to do A for me, and then Jessica, don't put your hand down. I want you to do B with me. Okay. Somebody saying, ma'am, do we have to know what to do to answer? No, I'm gonna walk you through it. Okay, so you can always just put your hand up and I will happily walk you through it very slowly. Jessica, how are you doing? Because I've lost Remy and I hope she'll put her hand up. Hello, my sweetie. Okay, let's talk about this. Right. I'm going to, do you know what to do in this question? Do you know?
Yes, just a little bit, because I saw it in my book.
Okay, I want you to help me explain it to everybody else as we go. All right.
Okay,
I want you to tell me, if we look at this g of x, and then we look at this g of -1, what is the difference between g of x and g of -1? What have they changed?
It's the same. They just changed the x in the bracket.
Good, and they put it as -1, correct?
-1.
So what this thing is actually telling us, Jessica, is wherever we see an x in this equation, what must we replace it with?
We need to replace it with -1.
Beautiful, that's exactly it. So that's exactly what we're going to do, Jessica. We're going to go g of -1 is equal to, do you want to finish this for me? I'm going to get?
Yes, ma'am. It's going to be -2, bracket,
Good.
-1, close the bracket, with the square above, -1.
Good. Beautiful. And I'm going to ask you to pick up a calculator and give me an answer for that.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Caitlin is just like, very, very quick.
It's going to be -3. I got
It
minus
should
3.
give us minus. Correct, it is, because -1 squared will give us a +1 times -2. That's -2 minus 1 is -3. And Jessica, you are forever just the best because
Thank you, ma'am.
excellent. Well done, my sweetie. Guys, yeah, I don't even want to tell my kids that you guys are my favorite people because I'm just saying. Karabo, how are you doing?
Well, on yourself, ma'am.
I'm good, thank you. Are you ready to help me with B?
No, I just wanted to ask about A. What happens to the G -1 on the other side? Do we leave it as is, or is just that the answer?
It's just the answer. It's just G of so
Oh, okay.
basically what this is saying is at the point, if we go to our graph, if we had to sketch this graph, Karabo, this graph, if I went to where my x is equal to -1, my y value would correspond to -3. So on a Cartesian plane, I would find that my x value is -1 and my y value is -3. Ooh, down here, -3. So at x is -1, my y value would be -3. So my graph would go through this point. Okay,
All right.
that's all it means.
Thank you.
All right, good question. Good question. Okay, beautiful. Anatida, can I ask Ndumiso to do this last one with me? There's a harder one coming up just now. Okay, keep that hand up. I know, but there's an even harder one. Yeah. Ndumiso, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself, ma'am.
I'm good, thank you. All right. Do we know how to answer the question B?
Now I do, yes, ma'am. I understand how to calculate it now.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna warn you in advance, Ndumiso. It's not the same way as when we answered A. It's not the same method.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. It's a little bit different, right? I'm going to show you now, because in this one, they give us h of x, but in this question, they also give us h of x. So we're not replacing x with anything. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am, I see that.
Good. But we are replacing the whole of h of x with a particular number. So what must we replace the whole of h of x with?
20.
Good. So we're going to go back to our original equation, and we're going to, in place of h of x, we're going to put 20. So give me my new equation. What will it look like?
20 equals x squared minus 5.
Beautiful, x squared minus 5. But I know that there's a squared, so I can't just now minus the 20 and the 5, right? I need to move one of these over to the other side. Which one?
I would say the 20.
So you want us to move the 20 to the side?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to end up with 0 equals x squared minus 5 minus 20. That didn't quite help us the way that we thought, yeah?
Trying to make
Now
it
we're like,
complicated.
yeah, it does. Okay, so maybe let's not move the 20. Maybe,
Okay, it's
how
just
about we
55.
get x on its own? How about we
Okay, no
maybe get the
problem.
x on its own? So what are we going to move?
The 20, the x and the 20 we swap.
Good, let's swap them around. Good, so we can do this. We can go negative, the x squared is going to become negative x squared, agreed?
Yes.
And then we'll get negative 5 minus 20. Let's simplify a little bit. All right, I'm going to get negative x squared is equal to, what's negative 5 minus 20?
Negative 25.
Good, negative 25, good. All right, now I don't want negative x squared, I just want x squared. What must I divide by on both sides?
20, no, by 5, no, by 1, by 1.
Not just 1, because the negative is the thing I want to get rid of.
Negative
So
1.
instead of just 1, good, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1. Good, divide both sides by negative 1. And then the negatives will cancel each other out. So we'll end up with x squared is equal to 25. But again, Ndumiso, I don't want x squared. I just want x. So how am I going to get rid of a squared? What's the inverse operation of a squared?
Square root.
Yes, absolutely. It's a square root. So I'm going to square root this side. And if I square root the left,
Square root the right.
good, I'm a square root the right. Excellent. So that tells me that my x is going to equal to, what is
5.
the square root of 20? Good. We could say just 5. But what do we know about any squared number? It comes in 2 forms. And Mkhengi's got the correct answer in the chat if you're stuck.
X is equal to positive or negative 5.
Correct. It must either be positive or negative 5, not just the one. It must be one or the other. Okay,
Yes.
because both of them, if I square both of them, they're both going to give me 25. And dude, you just gave us the answer we're looking for. Well done. 100%. You get all your 3 marks. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
100%. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right. Anotida, this one is still not the hard one. This is still not the hard one. Okay, it's still not the hard one. Okay, actually, no, I think it is. It is the hard one. Okay, because we're still working with that h of x up there. So Anotida, I'm going to ask you to unmute, my dude. Let's unmute.
Why? Like
All
why?
right. Okay. Let's talk. Don't just say why. Let's talk. All right. So in this next question, what do they want us to replace h of x with?
6x minus 14.
Good. So this whole h of x up here, we're going to replace it with 6x minus 14. So give me my new equation. What will my new equation look like?
6x minus 14 is equals to x squared minus 5.
Beautiful. Excellent. Let's shift things around. What are we going to do?
All right. How can I say this? Are we going to take the 6x to the other side, or are we just going to put the negative 5 on the other side?
Well, we could take the negative 5 over to the other side, but we're going to have a problem. Yes,
Yeah.
we're going to have a problem in that I'm going to get, I have an x that I need to solve for, and I have an x squared I need to solve for. But we've seen equations that have both an x squared and an x. What do we call those kinds of equations? Something like x squared minus 5x plus 6. What do we call these?
Oh, I forgot these. Was it quadratic? No, not quadratic. Yeah, was it
It is.
quadratic?
It is.
No.
It's a quadratic or a trinomial. Good. And whenever we see a trinomial, we need to move everything to one side. What must we have on our right-hand side? What number?
0.
0. Good. So we're going to take everything, move it over to the other side, and make everything equal to 0. Good. So that's your job. Move your x squared, move your 5, your negative 5. Give me, what are we going to get on the side?
All right. Should I put it in like ascending form or what?
Of course, descending order for me, please.
So it's going to be x squared minus 6x. Why?
Oh, are you bringing everything over? Correct. Okay, so we're going to get x squared minus 6x and then?
Minus 5 plus 14.
The 5 will come over and become? Oh, no, you're correct. Minus 5 plus 14. Ooh, it's me who's going crazy. Yes, you've got the right idea. Good. Let's simplify. Let's simplify. Right. So we're going to get x squared
minus 6x minus 9. Is it? Or am I wrong? Should be
negative 5 plus 14.
Negative 5 plus 14. It's 9. Oh, no, my bad. Plus 9.
Plus 9, correct. Plus 9 is equal to 0. And for everybody who's confused on what you've just done, I'm going to come back again. Okay, in just a second. Anotida, I need you to factorize. Finish up for me.
All right.
I'm going to open 2 brackets. Equal to 0. I'm going to put an x. And then x, what are my signs going to look like?
Your signs are going to be a plus and a minus. Is it a plus?
I know that one of my signs is going to be a minus. What do I need to multiply minus with to get a plus? It's a minus. Good, a minus. Yeah. Factors of 9 that are going to give us 6.
It's going to be 3 and 3.
3 and 3. Good. So what is my answer for x? Therefore, x is equal to?
It's going to be equal to, wait, okay, because yes, x is equal
Oh, I
to.
skipped a step. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, I skipped a step. We'll get x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to?
positive 3.
Positive 3. Exactly one answer. Beautiful. Positive 3. All right. Well done, Anotida. Amazing stuff. I knew that one. Yeah. We were going to, it was going to shake. Yeah, but it's really good. Thank you, Anotida. Always, always, always. All right. Let me just backtrack a second, because what Anotida has done is something that we should be able to do by just looking. So I told Anotida to take all of this stuff over here, the x squared, move it over, and the 5 and move it over, right? But what Anotida did was he moved all of this stuff over to the other side, and then he just switched the signs around. So what he did was he took -6 over to that side, and he took -14 over to that side. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you understand what ma'am is saying. Okay, are you guys with me here? Are we all cool?
Yep.
Okay, Patience, where did I lose you?
Ma'am, I'm confused
Yes.
because why is not x squared not negative x squared? Why is it not?
Because we're not moving the x squared, my sweetie. We're not moving the x squared. I'm moving this side. Okay, so the x squared is gonna stay. Okay, so we're not gonna make it negative. It's gonna stay on this side. Okay, so I'm gonna move the 6x over to that side, and I'm gonna move the -14 over to that side. So I'm gonna end up with 0 equals, do you see how my x squared is still positive? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm still gonna get x squared minus 5. If I take the 6x and I bring it over, what's gonna happen, Patience? I'm gonna get?
Negative 6x.
Good, negative 6x. And if I bring the -14 over, it's gonna become?
A positive 14.
Good, positive 14. Right, and then I'm going to take, what is -5 plus 14?
Is 9.
Good, so I'm going to get 0 is equal to x squared, and then I'm going to put the -6x first. -6x plus 9. Are you understanding me?
Yes.
Okay, so now here is what Anotida did. Anotida just took this equals 0 and he removed it from this side and he just put it on this side like that. It's the same equation. Do you see that?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Exactly.
I understand.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Keep the questions coming, my sweetie. Okay, Caitlin says, how is x equal to 3 if both brackets have a negative? Because, Caitlin, we have to make both brackets equal to 0. So I took x minus 3 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, they must both equal 0. So if I'm solving for x, I'm going to take this -3 over to the other side. Caitlin, what's going to happen? It's going to become a what? Okay, it's going to give us a positive. All right, Siamtanda, what's up? And that's where we get the +3 from. Okay, Siamtanda?
Ma'am, I have a quick question about the x is equal to 5 part. So basically, do we have to include that it must be plus or minus? Do we have to?
Yes, 100%. The only time we don't is if we are measuring distance. But in this case, because we're only measuring for x, it must be. Let me explain why, Siamtanda. If I say to you, what is 5 squared? You would say 5 squared is 25, right?
25. Yes, ma'am.
Good. What is -5 all squared?
25.
It's also 25. So I can't leave one of the answers out. I must say both positive and -5. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome. Good question. Good question. All right, Bunke, what's up? I want to show everybody the next question.
Hi,
as we
ma'am.
go. Sketch the following, guys. Hello, my sweetie.
I just want to ask for this question that we just did with Anotidia.
Yes.
I just want to ask, can you do it either way? Can you just bring the x over? Can you do it either way? Is it your choice whether to bring the 6x over or the x squared over?
Yes, that's fine. Do you know what's going to happen though, Gunka? Here's what's going to happen. If we do it the other way around, right? Here's what's going to happen. We're going to bring this over and this over, and then we're going to end up with negative x squared plus 6x minus 14 plus 5, correct? Is equal to 0.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? And
Yes,
then what's
ma'am.
going to happen is we're going to get negative x squared plus 6x minus 9 is equal to 0. Now, I don't want to factorize with a negative x in front, so I'm going to divide through by minus 1.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And then I'm going to end up with the exact same answer that Anutida had. The negatives will cancel. I will end up with x squared. A positive and a negative will give us a minus 6x, and a negative and a negative will give us plus 9 is equal to 0. So you would just have to do one extra step.
Oh, okay. No, thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
We're going to end up with the exact same answer, my sweetie. All right.
Okay. Thank you,
But
ma'am.
it's a good question. Excellent question. Thank you. All right. Patience, I'm going to ask you to just hold for me, my sweetie, and I'm just going to explain quickly what we do with hyperbolas. All right. So if we've got hyperbolas over here, guys, we always need to remember hyperbolas have two things that we want. Two things that we want. Number one, they have asymptotes. They have asymptotes. And number two, they have intercepts. They have intercepts. Sometimes they only have one intercept. Sometimes they have two intercepts. That's a grade 11 problem. But for now, we're going to look for our asymptotes. All right. All right. Not in this one, Fundo. In a hyperbola, because this is a hyperbola. 2 over x tells us that it's a hyperbola. No turning point. There's something on a hyperbola, there's something called a salient point, but we don't really calculate for it, especially in grade 10. I don't even think we calculate for it ever. It's a university thing. All right. Patience, can you just can you just give me a nod if you want to help me with this question, or just shake your head if you want me to help you with something else? Are you stuck somewhere else? No. Okay. Just everybody give me a thumbs up if we're going to be able to answer this question. Thumbs up, can we answer this question? Thumbs down, no. Okay, somebody saying middle. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs down. That's fine. All right. We're going to start, and Patience, I'm going to take your question in just a little bit, my sweetie. We're going to start with our asymptotes. Okay, let's start with our asymptotes. Now, our first asymptote is always our x asymptote. We know that x cannot be equal to something. What can x not be? X cannot be equal to what? Good, Mkheni. Good. X cannot be equal to 0 because we know as soon as we have anything divided by 0, we're going to have an undefined function. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to where our x is equal to 0 over here, and we're going to draw our asymptote. It's a vertical asymptote like that, right? Then we're going to go and look for our y asymptote. Our y asymptote is going to be at -1. So we're going to go to the point where y is at -1, which is down here, -1, and we're going to draw our... Oh, yes. No, your method is not wrong, Patience. It's correct. The method you did is also correct, my sweetie. It's also 100% correct. Okay, so we're going to get a horizontal asymptote at -1. Ketelo, what's up?
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask why
Yes.
the y asymptote was -1.
Okay, because what has essentially happened, let's take, for instance, a parabola. Okay, if I had a parabola at x squared, and then I added 2. What does this 2 actually do? How does it move my graph?
Doesn't it move it like up to the...
Yes, it moves it up by 2, correct? So in this case, in the case of the parabola, normally we would have, for a parabola, we would have the graph 2 over x. If I add a -1, what is that -1 doing for my graph?
It's shifting it downwards.
Correct. So normally, if my graph was just 2 to the power of x, my vertical or my horizontal asymptote would be on the y-axis. My graph would not be able to touch y. But now, because my entire graph has been shifted down, my asymptote will shift with me. It will just go 1 down. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome. That is an excellent question, by the way. Most kids don't understand why. Very good question, Katalo. All right, good. So we've got our asymptotes. Next thing, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to look for our intercepts. Let's start with our y-intercept. And we're going to find that we don't have a y-intercept, but I'll show you why. Okay, we're going to go y-intercept. When we know when we're calculating for the y-intercept, x must equal what? X must equal 0. Good. X is equal to 0. Yes, correct. Somebody just said it. Buche is like, so does the y asymptote depend on the q value? 100%. Good. All right, we're going to run into a problem, guys, because we're going to end up with y is equal to 2 over 0 minus 1. Do I have a y-intercept? Yes or no? No, I don't. Correct. That is correct. Yes, Timulucho, because y is undefined. So we do not have a y asymptote. Our graph is not going to cut the y asymptote anyway. So no asymptote, none for there. But let's go look for our x asymptote. We know that for our x-intercept. Now I'm calling it no y-intercept. Let's go look for our x-intercept. At x-intercept, our y is equal to 0. Good, Jessica, that's it. Y is equal to 0. So we're going to go and replace f of x because f of x is y. This is the same thing as y. We're going to replace that with 0. So we're then going to get 0 is equal to 2 over x minus 1. Tell me, guys, what is my next move? What's my next move? What do I need to move? Correct, Buche. No, not yet, Ketelo. We must first move the -1 over to the other side. Take the -1 over. Take it over. I've now got 1 is equal to 2 over x. Good, that's it. Now what's our next move? Now, Ketelo, you can say we multiply both sides by x. We're going to multiply this side by x, multiply this side by x. These two x's will cancel. Now that tells me x times 1 is just equal to x. And x is equal to, how much is x equal to, peeps? Yes, Patience. What is x equal to?
2.
Beautiful, 2, x is equal to 2, beautiful. So we're going to go to our graph and we're going to go to our x-axis and we're going to put a dot at where x is equal to 2. There is 2 there, we're going to put our dot there. Yeah. Okay, one last thing that we still need to go and look at, thank you, Teacher Nelly. One last thing we're going to have to look at is that our a value over here is positive. And when it's positive, I must draw my hyperbola in 2 quadrants. What are those 2 quadrants that we must draw our hyperbola in? Quadrant what and quadrant what? Good, Mkhengi, beautiful. Quadrant 1, correct, and quadrant 3, good, good. The only thing we need to remember is that in quadrant 1, our graph must go through our intercept. Okay, so this one must go through the intercept like that. And then the other one in quadrant 3 is going to be down here. All right. Excelente. Yeah, the other one doesn't touch. It doesn't touch any intercept. There's no intercept there, Mfundo. All right, give me a thumbs up, guys. How are we feeling? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Are we okay with this? Did we learn something? Are we all good? Zipo's like, meh, yeah. Okay, okay. I'm glad we're feeling good. Karabo, what's up?
Just to ask, is it possible, is it fine if you use the alternative method of the table method? Like to find
You can use the table method, 100%. It's just, I think by the time you get to matric, trust me, you don't want to draw a table in matric. There's a lot happening. So we need to get used to the idea of not having to draw a table. But it's going to be okay. You'll see. As you get used to it, it will be fine.